Hey guys, Cameron with Hope2K9 Rescue and Hope2K9 Dog Training, and my colleague Elias is here as well. This is your rescue dog log number 1, numero uno, and today we want to talk about the walk. Now, the series is intended to really empower folks who bring a rescue dog into their home, whether that be as a foster or an adopted dog. We want to really shed some light on the strategy to make that integration and that new addition blend successful and seamless for your family, because there's definitely a formula that works best. And we're out here in beautiful Vista, California, walking on our private roads here, enjoying a gorgeous sunny afternoon. I really don't need my vest, which this is what happens right about at this point. Come on guys. Right about at this point in the walk, start getting a little too warm. I've got a pack here of 4 kind of strategically chosen dogs walking with Lucy, who's one of our rescue pups in our Hope2K9 program. So she's going through a full board and train program to get her into a nice state of mind and to give her a really solid obedience repertoire before she goes to an adoptive home. Our hope is that we're going to take this formerly dog aggressive labeled dog who sat in a shelter for 6 months, and we're going to be able to consider her adoptable to a family with a male dog, but we're having to really evaluate and work on that at this point in time. So she represents a really good example of a lot of times what people will run into when they bring a dog home from the shelter or from a rescue organization, and they think they have a pretty good idea of how the dog will do. They may even have checked it with a dog, you know, on the other side of the fence or walking by them, but they really don't know for sure if the dog is safe with other dogs or cats or other critters. So I wanted to kind of share with you that, you know, the walk is such a critical part of your relationship establishment. It's really important that your rescue dog in particular come into your home and experience a lot of structure and accountability. They typically have been without that for a long time or forever, and that's what got them in trouble in the first place. Often dogs are surrendered to shelters and rescues because they have behavioral problems. That's the number one reason, and those behavioral problems typically stem from not enough accountability to rules and structure and boundaries in the home, and nobody explaining to the dog what to do and how to operate in our environment. So when you bring that dog home, it's really important that you not contribute to being the next experience it has with a lack of clarity and consistency, with a lack of rules and boundaries to live by in your home. The walk gives your dog clearly established objective when you're out migrating together, and it taps into that natural bonding mechanism that takes place when dogs migrate. So it's going to create a better relationship bond for you two. It's going to create more mental drain for your dog than just taking him out in the backyard and throwing the ball. And then it's also going to open up a whole lot of opportunity for you to blend and integrate your dog with your existing dogs when you walk them together like this in a structured fashion. This is not threatening to Lucy. Lucy's not being asked to deal with an inappropriate amount of pressure. She's not being asked to, love and play with these dogs. We're asking her just to work together with them, to be a team. Nope. And to partner together in this migration process. So it gives her a chance to sniff, to have a scent exchange, get to know each other on more respectful terms. We'll go ahead and flip around here. And then we can start slowly adding more proximity, right? And challenging all of these dogs, but mostly Lucy, because these dogs are used to being social with each other and have more skills and more confidence. We can get Lucy used to working up to exploring a deeper relationship with these dogs and a greater degree of tolerance for them. So when we talk about the walk, again, the piece that I really want to elevate here for you is this positioning. So Elias has her walking at his literal heel, slightly behind. You see that there? And he's doing that through the strategic use of tools like prong collar, remote collar, because she's a really big girl, as you can see. Heel. She's got a lot of muscle, a lot of power behind her. And if we were just on a flat collar like she arrived to us on, she'd be pulling like crazy and very tuned out and disconnected. And if she were pulling out front, tuned out, disconnected, she'd have a lot more stress and anxiety, right? She'd have a lot more to worry about because we'd be communicating to her that we don't have a plan, we don't have a process, we don't have an objective in place for this migration. And then you bring in triggers like the stress of dogs and dogs she doesn't know or that she's not currently bonded with, and it can perpetuate a lot of anxiety and then fight or flight. Bosley, let's go. So let me keep my pack moving here as I show you guys. She's slowly being blended here to have more pressure, more proximity to the other dogs. And we're doing that with a calm energy, right? By making the walk a part of that process. We have a calm energy. The dogs are all being really courteous of each other. They all have a shared understanding that there's leadership, there's an executive dynamic in place here that we're going to advocate for each of them and hold them accountable. So there doesn't have to be any stress or discomfort on part of our lesser skilled or lesser confident dogs, all right? So super, super important. Step one, when you bring a new dog into your home, focus on the walk. Establish a really clear heel position. Make sure that you have an objective, that this isn't just an activity that you go out and do without a plan in place and the dog is able to scan the environment and worry and obsess over everything, or that you allow people to approach your dog or dogs to approach your dog, but rather that you advocate for that dog to maintain that positioning. I've got a dog who's peeing. I'll let you pass. Advocate for that dog to stay in position and communicate to anyone in your environment that that is your primary objective, and your dog doesn't have the responsibility, right, to process everything in the environment as their problem. So I'm going to leave you with that. We just wanted to start out and bringing you guys kind of some strategic tips for how we integrate our rescue dogs really successfully, and how we get them to a place where we can have a nice obedience repertoire, we can create healthy relationships among the pack. And this is definitely step one before we ever do any social playtime or freedom for the dog or have the dog getting tremendous amount of love and affection from us. It actually starts right here with this very, very purposeful, structured walk. All right, guys, we'll see you again real soon.